Hello everybody, I'm with Kashy here. Um,
Hello.
I've just won the Battle Hardened Charleroi on his list. He made with Jacob Clements. I was
Was
pretty...
that how you say it?
Huh?
You say like shawarma. We were saying shawarma for a second there. Sorry to interrupt. Sorry, go ahead.
No, what did you say?
Sound like you're saying shawarma?
Shawarma?
And you were like shawarma, and when you were saying Charlet or something, or Charlo. I don't know.
Charleroi.
Sorry. Yeah, yeah,
Charleroi,
yeah, I heard you.
it's a place in Belgium.
Cool.
It's
Alright,
a
sorry, go ahead.
very nice place.
Hmm.
So yeah, I was just too lazy to test and I... You, Kashi, you've been coping hard on Mario the last. I guess it's the last year already that you're saying like, oh, this
Woo!
this deck is so
One, yeah.
broke, and you're convincing everyone to play it.
Ah, for 8 months, I said the deck was good. The
Yeah.
last 4 months, I've said it's broken.
Okay. But that's still a long time. But now
Yeah.
I feel like the deck's actually been broken for since Worlds, right?
Before Worlds, people just didn't want to play it.
Okay,
They were scared.
I see. Cause like I know you've been saying this deck is broken for a while, but you like I don't want to roast you, but you didn't really have the results at first to back it up, right?
The deck was bad back then, and I just didn't believe.
Okay.
I for like the first 8 months, the deck had all the good cards, but they just didn't make sense yet. They just didn't fit well,
Okay.
and it wasn't anything issue with the card pool. It was just don't know me as a designer, I guess. And then 1 month, I decided to lock in, and then it's been slowly fixed through multiple shower thoughts. Just like, wait a minute, what if the blues were reactions? They're like, wait, if the blues are reactions, this is better. Then it all like snowballed. And like the
Okay.
catalyst of it all was Codex of Inertia, my goat.
Yeah. That card is so insane in the deck. I really like it. Cause you had one battle harder where you went like 6-0, right? And then you lost in top 8, I think.
Oh yeah, that was the UK one. That was like weeks after the deck was finished though. But yeah, it was in Edinburgh. It was like undefeated in Swiss. And then I played one game. I played top 8 against Florian,
Mm-hmm.
and my like bottom like 18 cards had like 3 toxins and savers, and then
Yeah.
he lives on 1 HP, and I was just like, oh well, that's life.
Yeah. That was quite sad.
Yeah,
I
that's
remember
card game.
saying to you, Florian matchup sucks, and you say, no, you suck.
Nah, it's good. I love Florian matchup. If he did him LLing is worse for me, but it's better for other people, and that's fine.
Okay, that's fair. Well, I'll still disagree that it's a good matchup, but
That's
maybe
fair.
that's fair. All right, so yeah, but because I started to believe it when you said like, oh, Jacob is considering this deck for Worlds, and I was like, what? Is it that good? Because like everyone's like heavily Syndra built then, and then I think Jacob actually brought it to Worlds and he did pretty well with it. I don't,
Yeah,
and then from then
it's
on,
act looks broken.
yeah,
It's just hard to play, or like if you don't have the information, it's hard to like make small mistakes, which cascade really hard throughout like multiple turns.
okay,
Like the biggest issue I think most people had when they first played the deck was flicking. Especially when there was like 9 orb weavers, you would just flick instantly, and you would just draw an orb weaver, and then you were just set to play the game. But people
yeah,
just did not want to flick ever, unless they think they were like they had a reason, like there was something on the board that said to them you should flick now. But
yeah,
and then now we've went full circle where you kind of don't want to flick all the time anymore.
yep.
Kind of funny.
I felt like I never really like okay, so what I felt like was the most important thing, and like the title already hints to it, but like I just didn't want to do anything until I got the Graphene. So turn 0 I would flick, hope they don't shelter me, then hope they attack me so I can block with my mask and instantly transform into Orb Weaver. And like if that happened, I felt like okay, I'm set, my deck works. My deck is totally broken now. I can play the game.
Yeah,
But
that is like the has like a really chill way of playing it, and like it's quite consistent.
Mm-hmm.
I think there are like with the extra attacks in the deck, you don't always have to do the helmet into Orb Weaver and get online, but it's definitely like if you're running all these gas and then you just want to go online ASAP, there's nothing wrong with it. It just depends on the matchups as well. Yeah, anything like slightly slow, doing that just makes sense.
Yeah. So now with only 3 Orb Weavers, I played against Verdance in a final, and like the craziest stuff happened where like I mark him turn 0, or like he starts, I mark him, um, and then I didn't block with Mask since I had an Orb Weaver in my hand, and I play the Orb Weaver and he ripples away, and I'm like, no way.
Mm-hmm.
And then luckily I had like a Meat Madness to still make use of the three value of the Orb Weaver, and I already was like in my mind, I'm just gonna draw the next Orb Weaver next hand, and I'll be totally fine. And that actually happened. That was
That's
totally
funny.
fine. And he played 3 Ripple away.
Yeah.
So that was quite funny. Okay, but you said something. You hinted towards the blue base that really evolved the deck, right? You said like the blue should be reactions.
Well, the whole idea is this deck would like function really well, and then you'd have big tempo leads, and you'd be doing really well, and then you'd be like so ahead, and then you would ponder like a miserable card, and you're just like,
Yeah,
well, if I don't Oscillate this, I'm behind a whole card,
yeah.
and if I do Oscillate, I'm just behind again. It's just
You have to clear it.
yeah, and then you've probably spent an action point getting rid of it, so it means you're probably forced into like a inefficient line just so you can unbrick yourself because you decided to ponder a blue. And
Yeah,
yeah, but turning them all into reactions just means like, oh, I've pondered a blue. Okay, put it in there. Okay, my next turn will function the exact same.
yeah. Because like looking at the deck now, they've kind of evolved a bit from that. Like you have the reactions blue stains, you have like Knight's Embrace. I played 3 Prognosis instead of 2. That was like my only thing I swapped.
Yeah, you're a bit more worried about some of the aggro decks, so I understand why.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's the thing. Like, this deck has so many random ponder and draw effects. Like, you have the codexes, you have the saviors, and you have the inertia.
Yeah, Inertia has like two random draw effects in theory.
Yeah. I had some times I drew under trapdoor and it was like very bad, but apart from that, all the random ponders were like extremely good.
Yeah, the blue attacks are necessary evils.
Yeah. Because like what you usually do with inertia is like keep one floating for graphene, and then you do it with no cards in hand, and then you can play
Yeah,
like
like
probably any card.
yeah, the way you run Inertias are there's like it has like multiple layers to it, and there's multiple levels. So it's like level 0 is you play it for ponder inertia, and then level 1 is like you play it for the tokens, and then your opponent swaps a card with from the hand in their arsenal.
Mm-hmm.
And level 2 is you do that to them, and then you do that, and then you draw yourself for having an empty arsenal. And sometimes just playing it for tokens is really strong because
Yeah.
denying your opponent the 5 cards with no counterplay. Like your opponent cannot. There's no like blocking that they can do or anything. The only way they could counter that is if they discard a ripple away, which is like, all right, if I play a codex and then they discard, then my codex just made them like it did free value anyway. So
Yeah. It's already like a draw too, because if the inertia works and the ponder works, you're
yeah,
up a card. Yeah, it's been
yeah,
kind of good. Right. So I thought like maybe a thing to go. You know the deck of course very well already. Uh, you made a Metafy with Jacob, with like a very detailed guide of the deck. I'll put the link below. It really helped me. So of course you know the deck already pretty well, but like, could you give like an introduction to some of the like standout cards you think have more use cases, and then I can maybe give some tournament insights of what happened with that card.
So one of the best plays you can do in this deck is Arsenal Kiss of Death.
Okay.
Because that means no matter what you draw next turn, your hand will be playable.
Right.
Because all the dagger cards work on it, all the stealth cards work on it. Like especially specifically, like a lot of this match, a lot of site sequencing this deck is trying to play in a way that you're never pitching cards, unless unless it's a slower matchup and you want to be pitching for Clave Graphene every turn.
Yeah.
So all you do is you constantly play around your Tunic, and you constantly play around. Yeah, you just constantly play around your Tunic, since playing
Yeah.
around cheating mana. So if you have Tunic on free, Osling something like Kiss isn't that exciting because you can just Tunic your Graphene.
Mm-hmm.
If your Tunic's on like 0 or 1, then having the Kiss is really strong because then you can just do a full turn without having to pitch because the Kiss has the dagger property.
Yeah.
And then also knowing when to fold hands is really important, especially when you like play around your Tunic. So like, and then flicking is also like learning how to play with the Tunic is actually like a crazy
Yeah.
crucial, because when your Tunic's on like 2 and you're attacking your opponent and they full block you, if you flick them, you're setting yourself up to go like Tunic, Graphene, and then if you draw the blue that you would discard that blue to the form, and then
Mm-hmm.
you have this full like 0 mana, like 0 pitch turn, and you just get to like push a full lead of that. But
It's like
then on this,
it's
yeah,
like hyper efficient. Like that's something I learned during the whole weekend. Like only in the PQ Plus the day after, I actually won the Battle Hard, and I was like, wait, Tunic is like so good that I'm like, I just want to keep it as long as possible. And like if like I don't know if this is correct and you agree with this, but like if I had a blue, I was like, I kind of want to keep Tunic and do like Graphene into Chelicera. And then if I draw a hand which is all dagger buffs and dagger reacts, I can do it with Tunic and it will be like very broken.
yeah, it depends on the leeway you're given. But ideally, you want to save the Tunic for the full red hand,
Yeah,
and then, or if you're transformed, because then you can convert the blue into offensive power as well.
yeah, that
And
was
this is
also.
also why, like, if you flick off cycle of your Tunic or transformation and you like go claveless, you it's how you end up in these like really bricky game states.
Yeah, definitely
Like if
happened
you
too.
yeah, so it's all about managing your turn cycles with your free resource and using your arsenal to set up your next turn in a way that is helpful. So obviously you can't always choose it, but like if you have like a kiss and a blue in your hand, and let's say you have full tempo
Yeah,
and your tunic's on like 1, like it's better to just pitch the blue, use all your cards, also the kiss. Then next turn your tunic goes to 2. You can now do a full turn with the kiss, and then afterwards you're gonna go to your tunic, and then you just gotta play the tunic graphene time. So it's
right.
just all about like sequencing in a way that you're never feeling like you're needing to pitch your cards, or you're never like in a position where you're like uncomfortable to use a bunch of your dagger related effects.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really nice that like most of the blues are assassin. So like if you draw a full blue hand and you've transformed, you just discard it to
Yeah.
like how I played the deck. It was just tried to max value every hand. I don't know if it was correct, but like the deck allows for it so easily. Like if you draw a full blue hand or like multiple blues, you can just block with it. You can use the mask to hopefully transform and discard one of them. Like it just felt so efficient, with which I really liked. And even if you have all red hand and you draw like multiple buffs, you draw like three plus 4 buffs. You can still play them all and pitch your red to Graphene and still like 4 card 13, which is just pretty good.
Yeah. It's also a lot of the deck functions in a way that they're not bad to be seen together. Like sometimes you have cards that when you draw them in multiples, they feel awful. But all
Mm-hmm.
the like dagger related cards have like obviously they have like go again, but the reactions have like secret go again on them. Because it's like, oh,
Yeah,
when I play this, it doesn't use an action point.
yeah. And it also added benefit of the opponent just having to guess. Like the amount of
Yeah.
times my opponent just straight up, I felt like they misplayed against me. It's like they were just over respecting stuff I just didn't have, and I was like, oh, fine, I'll just arsenal it and then use the react on the next turn. It's like when I get to a certain life total, it just gets so comfortable from there.
Yeah.
One card I really love in a deck is Scar Tissue. It's like
Yeah.
the amount of stuff you can do with it is so insane. Like I remember I had like Scar Tissue on a Kiss of Death, and then my Kiss of Death hit, got go again. Opponent stays marked. I attack with a Mark of the Black Widow, and then my opponent was like not respecting it or something. I flicked the Kiss of Death, and they were like, okay, on hit, banish card from hand. And they were like, no, I'm unmarked. And I'm like, no, the Scar Tissue effect stays on the Kiss of Death. It was like, oh, like the amount of stuff it can do is so insane. And then also
Yeah.
letting your opponent stay marked so that next turn your Graphene also has go again.
Yeah. Transforming is just, as you were saying earlier, it's really broken. There are times it's worth up to like 5 or 6 value. It's just an insane effect.
Mm-hmm.
Especially like my favorite thing in the game is turn 0, you transform into trapdoor. You just get to heal free / potentially innate your opponent, and then you just get to even helmet block to go into the orb weaver. So you're just like insanely ahead for no reason.
Yeah, that happened in my game versus Jimmy. Like in top 4 played him, he let me start. Which I think, like you think it's correct to go second in a mirror, right? Because one of
I think they're both are so close, but I think second on average has higher win rates is what the data shows.
so
I'm yeah. Sorry to interrupt. I like first when I play this deck,
mm-hmm.
but that's like my own personal data.
Yeah.
I just play really well when I go first on a lot of these decks, but like a lot of the time going second is just correct because especially when you're racing and you're tempo based, and then
Mm-hmm.
because we have so much inertia in the deck now, like if any deck like buffs their attacks and then we just draw inertia turn 0, they just aren't allowed to attack.
Yeah.
But yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No, because that was like I played like a ton of mirrors over the weekend, and one of my friends, he was like super convinced going first was better. And then Jimmy said like, yeah, the data shows going first is better, but Kashy ways going second was better. And I just blindly followed the sideboard guide that said you should go second, and it worked very well for me. I think I didn't lose a single Mario mirror. I'm like 5-0 on the weekend.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really really liked it. So yeah, some things that stand out to me, like what do you think about the new cards? Because the deck has been evolved a bit. It got some nerfs. Like you said, you can't blindly throw away your Graphenes anymore, and you don't have 9 Orb Weavers anymore. Like, what did the deck do to adapt, like, to the new meta? What were like the core changes you had to make?
Your blues just became whatever blues were left. The blues have been shot multiple times now, so
Right.
you're just kind of running what you're honestly just running titanium baubles for a lot of the time, and then sometimes they'll have cool effects. And then the yellow ones just became meat madness.
Oh yeah.
So in the previous meta, you had a lot of Syndra, Verdant, and like decks like Oscilio were doing well, and then Gravy had like more power to him. And then all these decks have like one thing in common. They're like really good at like denying your helmet to have good value, and they're really good at just like
Yeah.
um ignoring you and like making blocking like making having like they make it so you don't want to block them or you can't block them.
Mm-hmm.
So a a lot of the like finishes in like a lot of decks felt really bad because when you clumped with finishes against these decks and then they played a hand cycle that was like you need to block or don't want to block, and then you're forced to block with this card like Syndra. Like when you had to block Syndra and then because you drew like multiple finishes before go again,
Mm-hmm.
and then they just have like flicks and tricks. You're just like, I've just wasted these cards.
Yeah, or they had like Ancestral, and you spent your turn blocking, and you just got mega blown out.
Yeah, and then the Vengeance was just using all arcane spam, and then to just go online with Fruitbound, and then Gravy's just designed where like you kind of want to keep cards to help combat the board, and then
Yeah.
Attilio and stuff is just arcane, and then Kano wasn't LL'd, so he's just all arcane based as well. And like so, you had your deck builds needed to be able to always use 5 cards when put on the spot.
Yeah.
So before it was very reaction heavy, and it was just played in a way that like if I need to dump my hand, I can dump my hand. But
Mm-hmm.
now the meta's like slowed down because Syndra got shot, Verdance got shot, Kano's literally dead, Gravy got shot,
Yep.
and all you're like blocking is no longer punishing. So a lot of decks are like function on blocking more or like blocking a little bit. They've gotten better. So Orb turning into a finisher that you'll probably have to block with more than you'll play it at times
Mm-hmm.
isn't actually a negative to like your win rate.
Yeah.
So even though there was all these bans, like the actual gameplay of the deck didn't change too much, except you lost like a bunch of like true damage and flicks,
Yeah.
which is probably fair.
Yeah, but then
And
again, the orb weavers also didn't really feel that special. Like
they were just like really efficient numbers. They were just like because like the blue one was like around 2 to 3 value, and the red one was around 4, and then the yellow one was 3 or 4.
yeah. But now
It
you
was
have
just
under
like
the trapdoor, like you have all these other kind of complicated blues that
yeah. Well,
also.
under the trapdoor was kind of like it was really cool because it had like really efficient blocking value. But as
Mm-hmm.
I was saying, blocking wasn't really a premium thing to be doing,
Yeah, yeah,
so it didn't make sense. So as the meta's turned into a situation where blocking has better advantages, then under the trapdoors entered and more finishes have entered, like Meat Madness from the Armory deck.
What do you think about Meat Madness? Because I was like super down. Like I remember when it came out, I was like, this card sucks. I tried to convince you on it, but you were like, I don't see why it sucks. And now I have to say, after having played with it this weekend, I really like it. Because it's like when your opponent has an arsenal and they have a full hand, it just feels juicy to play it, right? Because they have to like. They have
I
to,
know you like it. Like, I heard it missed against you like twice in the mirror against Jimmy.
yeah.
It's your best friend.
Yeah, but to be fair, if any mode would have hit, I would have been fine because I had like Tunic counters. So if my hands
Yeah,
banish, I banish a blue.
but keeping cards feels way better every time.
Yeah.
No, but it is the so the way the spots that this card is currently contesting is for some people it's CNC, it's
Okay.
incision, it's like like another stealth attack, like maybe like infiltrate, it's like and then like infect. So these are all like numbers cards. So incision's the weakest card out of all of them, but it has go again. So if go
Right.
again was important, incision would be ran. But
Mm-hmm.
as I said, as I was explaining earlier, go again isn't as important, so incision
Yeah.
isn't ran.
Because
So
blocking
then you
is
go,
more rewarded in this meta. Yeah.
yeah, and then infiltrate is like okay against the mirror and like kind of useless in like a bunch of the matchups. So it's like you could run it if you really want to hyper specify your deck, but it's probably don't need to
Mm-hmm.
because Meat Madness has still got like a good floor. And then the main argument is like infect or Meat Madness. So like infect is on hit deal 2
Yeah.
most of the time, and then Meat Madness is on hit, maybe get advantage. So the way I look at it is both cards, when you're winning, will do the same thing. Like they'll just keep pushing the lead and you'll be fine.
Incision and Meat Madness, or
No. Meat Madness and Infect.
I see. Yeah.
They're both like the same when you're winning, but if you're losing, Infect doing 2 damage probably isn't going to be what brings you back from a losing game
Yeah.
state. But Meat Madness hitting like a hand or an arsenal when your opponent was like, "There's no way this hits."
Yeah. 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 But that's
All
also the
yeah,
power, right? Because they can't plan towards it. Because there you have so many variables. Like it can, like at
yeah,
33% chance to hit anything. So then they can either choose to gamble, then the gamble can go wrong. They
yeah.
can also
They
choose to block it and plan their turn as if it not hits. Then you have a reaction, and then it can go like the chaos part. It's just a cool card. Like the chaos part really shows when you play it.
yeah. So I've like decided that because it has a higher ceiling and the floor isn't that much worse, that I
Hmm.
decided to add that as my like final piece to the deck.
Yeah,
Because the rest of it's the same. And if you knew it pre-banned, it's pretty much the same, but it just blocks a bit more than it used to,
yeah.
which plays into some of the game plans.
So the blocking was really because like the thing I really disliked about this deck was like the gravy matchup. And okay, I played gravy myself. The chart banner really hurt, but I also heard a friend say like that he was playing very defensive, and I looked at your guys' sideboard guide, and you had like two options: very offensive, very defensive. And I was like, I had my winning in versus a gravy and on the battle hardened. I was like, I'm just gonna choose the defensive since I think it will be more consistent and will be less opportunity to get very unlucky. And it's like so cool. The poppers just turn into chum clearers and whaler clearers. It's
Yeah.
like I never thought of that. And they're also 3 blocks. So what happened versus Gravy? I just denied every gold they would make. And and they had just turns where they would just say they had 3 cards in hand, one in the arsenal, they block with one, and they say, yeah, pass turn. They had 3 turns of those. It was just insane. And then on the final turn, I somehow had all my 3 tarantula toxin left, and I just killed him with like all 3 in the it was such a non game. And then Gravy said like, yeah, I never had a game as bad as this, and that really made me gain more confidence in the deck, because it was like, okay, if I can beat Gravy, then I'm in.
Yeah.
So would you say this is just best deck now? Because I felt like Oscilio is also up there.
I think this deck has always been like really good at beating every deck, like to a certain extent, and like every match, like there is no matchup you sit down and you're like, oh, unwinnable.
Right.
Unless you're me and it's like you're 5-0 and you're against Oscilio. But like outside of like, no, Oscilio's like actually a good matchup as well, especially with the extra tech.
So why is that?
Why is it a good matchup?
Yeah, because like
Because you,
I'm hearing a lot of controversy. Some Oscilio players say this is like I practiced with Jacob Crossing in the week leading up, like did 3 games, and he beat me all 3 games like very handedly, and he said like, yeah, this is like uh, unfavored for Mario. And then I heard like another friend of mine, David, who also plays Oscilio, say like, yeah, this is like unfavored for Oscilio since they send so much disruption. But like, what do you think about that matchup in general? Since it's kind of
so the way the matchup works, in my opinion, is if the Mario sees Amulet,
mm-hmm.
like turn 1 to 3, 25 or like 30 or higher life, they are like in a very unlosable game state. Because they just do better numbers and are more disruptive and just overall are more evasive and can handle the Cilio way better than the Cilio can handle them. The Cilio's just got like a bunch of fluff cards that mean nothing, but then when you see Gone in the Flash on the big turn, they mean everything.
Yeah.
And then the additional, the boots having Go Again and AB are just really good
Yeah,
for like
it's
a,
another upgrade.
yeah, another freebie. Because you used to just run Go Again boots because you just want to be fast. But then now that you can be fast and deny them playing like 1 card surges with like a Tunic or I forgot its name, but one of the auras. Um,
Oh, the sigil of like no, the one that deals 1 arcane, right? And M's one.
yeah,
Yeah, I know what you mean.
yeah. Sigil of Arcane or something it's called. I don't know. I can't remember. Um, but Iselio is just we present lethal by turn 3, but if the Iselio combos by turn 3, you like just lose. So that's all the matchup was previously.
Mm-hmm.
But now we have amulets. It's like, oh, they said you has to combo, and then I have to not draw an amulet. So it just adds extra percentages to our favor. So it went from being like probably what was like around like a 50-50 matchup to like because we have the other extra tech card, it skews our way. But then they said you can't really run counter tech because they're such a like combo based deck
Yeah,
where if they have like random tech cards that could maybe be annoying,
they
it
need
just means they
specific pieces, right?
they just also slow down, which then help our game state.
Because one Oscilio I played, he played 5D reacts, and they caught me a bit off guard. But they, yeah, like you said, they also didn't really help his game plan. Just kind of felt going into my game plan.
Yeah, the defensive Assetto just kind of like plays in a way where you get to just they chip you, you chip them, but you get to do more numbers and you chip them more over each turn, and then if you have an amulet, they can't do the big turn to like Scam the win.
Yeah. All right. What do you think? Do you think this deck will remain strong when Compendium releases? Of course, very hard to say because we don't know all of the
Um,
cards yet. But do you think this deck can adapt easily to new
this deck is
metas?
a toolbox deck, so
Okay.
as long as a silver bullet hits the deck, this deck will be able to function.
Okay.
Or we enter like any meta where blocking is good, Toxin makes this deck better. Any meta blocking isn't good, stuff like codexes and leaves and the on-hit
Right.
disruption make the so it has access to like this a good anti-fatigue plan and a good anti-aggro plan, and you can lean into which side you need to. It just depends, yeah. So like the only thing that would like hurt this deck is if like they banned an additional card like a Kiss of Death or
Yeah.
Inertia Trap would probably hurt the deck a lot. Because I currently like toolboxing an inertia from your helmet is so backbreaking for a lot of decks.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially Verdance is like Plow Under, Cadaver Stealing, Felling, and then
Yeah, and Earth is also getting a buff from all the new cards next set.
that's true. Okay. So you think cards that are most likely to get banned is either Inertia Trap or Kiss then?
Uh, I don't think these are gonna get banned, but like these are the cards that would hurt the most.
I see.
Um, I don't know what they could ban that's like reasonable. Another blue for the jokes of it.
They
Not
should they should ban A. They should ban Relentless Pursuit.
hey yo, ban that card. Ah, um,
Just the inside joke is like I've been saying this card sucks so bad, and you've been defending it with your life.
I love the card. I'm trying to think what could actually be banned.
Codex of
Like,
Frailty, please. We have
no,
Stockholm Syndrome. This card is just. I just forgot how broken this card was because when I
Master of
played
Deceit.
Slippy.
No,
Hmm.
no, I'm trying. Yeah, sorry, go ahead. I was just trying to think what could be. I don't. I think something like Pain. Like I don't know. I feel like LSS love hitting. They've just been hitting consistency cards recently, so it's
Yeah.
like they let the deck have big cool stuff, but then they just make the deck feel sad more. And Gravy now just feels really sad, and then he has some cool turns.
Mhm.
But yeah,
Yeah.
so you yeah go back to complaining about Codex of Frailty.
Yeah, because it was like all the power cards are a bit gone. I feel like in Flesh and Blood, and then I used to play against New like you were torturing me on New a lot, and then Codex of Frailty was always such a powerhouse. But now having resolved this card again a lot of the times in my games, I'm like, it's just so broken. Also, the appliances of Codex of Frailty with Kiss of Death is like when you have multiple dagger buffs, you just play them, and then play the Codex. Like the most insane turn you could do in my opinion, was like Savior, Kiss of Death. Then you pitch the blue somewhere to mark them. So on hit had go again, draw a card, and then you had the ponder from Codex left. And then if the on hit draw a card, you could attack with Graphene, possibly buff it and flick the Kiss. It's like it's just so insane. But yeah, I feel like we've all accepted this card being very OP for a long time. But yeah, we can still
Yeah,
ban Chart, which I'm very sad about, but not Codex. Nah, I don't want.
yeah.
Alright. You got anything left you want to say about this deck or a shout out? I know you have your own
Subscribe,
channel.
subscribe to Paul's channel. We love
Whoa.
Paul.
Thank you.
Nah,
Nah, I
he's
just want
he's
to.
he's active. He's active
Nice.
boy again.
Thank you. I would say
Yeah.
subscribe to Kashy's channel because I know you're making a lot of content on Mario and gameplay and deck techs. This
Yeah,
wasn't really a deck tech, more like explaining in general terms, which was also really nice. And you have a Metafy with Jacob, right? Which you guys keep updated. I mean,
yeah. The best part about the Metafy, obviously, I'm not gonna lie, it has made money. Like, let's not downplay it. It's the everyone that like messages me every weekend. Like I get like 20 messages every weekend saying, "Thanks, bro. I topped 4 using your deck." And then like I was like, "Thanks for your videos. They really helped me. I won my RTN. I would done that." It's like I like for the longest time I've been a yapper about whatever deck I've played,
Yeah.
and then it's just nice when people do well.
Yeah.
So this is like this deck was like a big like achievement based on like a bunch of grinding by me, but also just other people that I've been helping tinker with a bit by being giving me advice, and also watching people suffer on the deck was a big motivator to make it better.
Right.
I remember I remember giving my friends the deck to play with, and I'd watch them play, and I'd be like, they'd like ponder like a surgical, and I think it was like Jacob. I remember like it was probably the last one to do it. Jake, I had like one surgical in the deck because I just loved the card and couldn't get rid of it. And I saw Jacob ponder it into like a losing game, into a game that was unlosable, then he lost. And then
Yeah.
I just messaged him and I was like, okay, I've cut it now. I've accepted it.
Which
That
is a
might have been
big
like a
deal for you if you get something.
I love
Yeah, it's great. This deck has been your child for the last year. Great to see it
yeah.
come to fruition, and yeah.
It's because not to like, and it's just because it was like I was reading so many cards, and the deck had so many majestics, so many broken cards when you'd read them, and I was like, there has to be something there. I
Right.
refuse to believe that there's nothing here.
Mm-hmm. So it was kind of a meme at first when you're like, it's so broken, no one believing you, but now finally you're getting the recognition for it.
Yeah,
It's kind of funny. It just
yeah,
shows you, because I was like, for the video, I was like reading up on a lot of articles on like deck builders versus players, because like that was my first thing I was gonna go with here. Like I'm trying to play the deck with no further knowledge. You created it, of course. And it's actually sad because like I try to make suggestions to the deck and you just instantly say like, no, I don't think that's good. But I've learned now that it's actually within a deck builder's like it's great deck builders in the past, also in Magic and other card games. They used to be like very confident, even overconfident, right? In the articles I've heard that word. But it just makes sense when you think about it, because it's like it's your love child essentially, and like you've
yeah.
played it so much.
But let's not downplay your suggestions are awful. I
Okay,
love you,
okay.
brother, but I need you suggested Ripple Away. Well, it wasn't Ripple Away, was it? Riddled with Regret. I had regret when I saw that picture pop up on my screen, man. Like,
Riddle, if I still think it could be good versus
yeah, yeah, yeah,
players.
yeah, 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 yeah. Sure. Anyways, let's end on the high note. Woo! Yeah, we love Paul. Subscribe to Paul. Give him likes.
Okay.
Leave a comment saying I love Paul if
Okay.
you've got to this part of the video.
Thank you. All right. That's the end. See you later, guys.